Yo, 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 what is going on? It is Crazy Writer right here, right now, back with chapter 44 of my Invaders in fanfiction. I promised you more juice, did I not? Well, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get plenty of juice as long as you sit back, relax, and enjoy it all right here, right now. Chapter 43, Crazy on You. Dibbs suddenly put his hands on his thighs after we talked for several more minutes. You know what? He said, looking at me. You and I have been sitting and talking for over 10 years now. I'm sick of sitting and talking. Okay, I said, a little surprised at this. Then do you want to start it? You know, I thought I did, Dibbs said to his feet, and then looked back at me. But first, I think I just want to hold you for a bit. Yeah, sure, we can do that, I told him and held my arms out slightly. He reached over and grabbed me by my hips, pulling me onto his lap. I put my arms around his neck and he wrapped his tightly and desperately around my waist. Our chins were on each other's shoulders and he had his face buried in my hair. He let out these bizarre sighs and moans like he was physically aching. Oh, Liz, he breathed a couple times into my neck. I love you. I really fucking love you. I massaged the back of his head with my fingers. I admit, I was closer to loving him now than when we first entered this room together. Not enough to call him my mate over Zim, but maybe enough to have a child with him. Why do I love you so much? His voice cracked. Some guys want a bad girl, but you're the worst girl I could possibly want. I mean, you're responsible for more deaths than every other living thing on this planet combined. Who knows why we fall for who we fall for? I answered. Gretchen still liked you, even when you dropped and ditched her. You took over the world and imprisoned me, and I still love you. His grip on me tightened. I know, I breathed. You think I forgot what happened on your 15th birthday? You mean what didn't happen? Dib corrected while pulling his face away to look at me. What almost happened? I'm surprised you didn't tell him. It was just almost kiss, I told him honestly. I thought you just lonely, not love me. He shook his head and then rested his forehead against mine. I can't believe it. Even after everything you've done, everything I know you've done, and everything I don't know you've done. All the people and animals I know you've killed, and all the people and animals that I've seen you kill. Even all these years of listening to boobs screaming in pain because of you. Even with all of that, there's still no one I would rather have as Empress of my world. Earth not your world, I reminded him. I don't mean the earth, he whispered and then pressed his lips against mine. I returned his somber kisses. He ran his fingers up and down my spine, which sent chills across my skin, and my nipples grew hard. I wasn't the only one that was hard. He could be felt against me through his pants. Our kissing ceased, but I kept my eyes closed as I could still feel him lingering in front of my face. Why did they call me crazy? He finally croaked. I opened my eyes and his amber eyes were all I could see. Because they were jerks. No, really, he said in all seriousness. Why did they think I was crazy? Not matter, I muttered, putting my forehead back against his. They gone now. They all gone now. Tell me, he commanded as he closed his eyes. I want you to tell me. Because, I breathed and pet the side of his head. Because you believe paranormal things. I didn't just believe, he said with his eyes still closed. I was obsessed with it. When you're too obsessed with something, they call you crazy. You were obsessed with wolves, like I was obsessed with the supernatural, so we were both crazy to everyone else. He swallowed and opened his eyes, but they stayed low. The more obsessed you are, the crazier you are. And you, his eyes met mine again. You make me a fucking lunatic. He kissed me again, but with much more hunger and force than he had been. I felt like I was going to be swallowed whole. I pulled my inner leg in and set it on his other side so I had a leg on either side of him. With his hands gripping my ass, he pulled me in so my crotch was right up against his. My legs naturally wrapped around his waist, and we both started moaning. Dibs started talking between kisses, and the kisses grew more and more aggressive as he spoke. It's all your fault. Your fucking fault. You keep coming to my cell. His hands gripped the back of my shirt in this skin-tight uniform, flaunting your tight, perfect body, acting like you didn't know what it was doing to me. Oh, fuck. He moved one of his hands between us, gripping my breast through my shirt. I was without a bra today, so he could feel everything through the soft Vortian fabric. He bent his head down and kissed at the bosom in his hand before switching to kissing my neck. I squeaked. Oh, that feel nice, Dib. Dib's shoulders lurched up stiffly. I always love when you say my name. Say it again like that. Dib, I breathed, now running my fingers through his black hair. Dib. Yes. He also breathed, sliding his hand under my shirt and feeling my naked boob. Tell me you love me. I don't care if it's true or not, I just want to hear you say it. His bare skin against my own was truly arousing, and it made me grip his hair in my paws. I love you, Dib. I really, really do love you. I love you more than any other human that ever lived. I knew it, he whispered against my neck. If it wasn't for him, I would love you like this years ago, I told him, trying not to let the tears escape my eyes. There was a couple, a pair that, in my eyes, is the closest there is to the perfect couple. Whenever Zim and I run into a problem in our relationship, I always think about what they would do if they faced the same problem. In fact, they have faced many of the same problems we have. There is no pair that I admire more. One of them has a special pet name for the other, and ever since I first heard it, I have believed that it is the most rare and beautiful thing. You would, I choked. You would be my precious. Dib and I both froze in place, one of his hands holding tightly to my breast while the other held my butt, and his face was still buried in my neck. My fingers still gripped his hair, and I was looking down at him. He knew all about the precious pair, and my opinion of them. All of a sudden, Dib's grip on my breast became painful, even including his fingernails. I also saw his eyebrows snap together, his eyes snap as tightly shut as physically possible, and his teeth clench together. Dib, I piped, you hurting me. He eased up with his nails, but not the rest of his grip. Fuck, he growled. I can't take it anymore. I can't fucking take it anymore, Liz. He tore his hand away from my boob, but to put it under my thigh. The hand, not the boob. He then stood up from the bed, lifting me with him. We rotated so he was facing the bed, and he laid us down so I was on my back, and he was on top of me. I kept my legs wrapped around him as he started kissing me violently again. While Dib kissed me, he grabbed my hands and pinned them next to my head. And I am going to skip through all that other dirty, nasty, naughty stuff to this last paragraph. Here we go. Zim knew exactly what he was doing when he put Dib and me together. Not when selecting Dib to be my baby daddy, but when he made me his wife in the simulation. If I would have married a human, if I would have loved a human the way I love Zim, I think I would have loved and married Dib. Well, perhaps it would have been Alpha Blue Bones. That creature was, and will remain until his dying day, to be exceptional. How about that, eh? And now, for one of the last times, I will see you little darlings for one last time next time. And remember, keep your crazy.